Yo, I had to do it. I had to do it, and I knew I would regret it. I had to do it, and I knew I would regret it. I should probably find a hat. My hair is rough this morning. Um, I had to do it, and I knew I would regret it. Yesterday, where's my other phone? Yesterday, we had a big event here in my office, and we had just over 60 people here in the office for a 2-day workshop where we just intense go after the what we call the 149-point inspection checklist, which is an opportunity for if you're in the cab business, right? If you're in the car business, it's a 2-day workshop for owners, general managers, car dealerships, where we just literally break down like all of the steps required. We have a training program that typically takes 17 weeks. Oh, I got that. That typically takes 17 weeks. So we take this like 17 weeks of training and we pump it all into 2 days. Think about that. 17 weeks of training. We pump it all into 2 days. And so yesterday we had that workshop. Now, at the end of the day, which by the way, little side note, during that workshop yesterday, I was up in front training most of the day. Michael Cirillo, my friend Michael Cirillo, jumped in for 20, 30 minutes, and we had a 15-minute break, and we had a lunch. The lunch was about 45 minutes. Outside of that, from 9 o'clock in the morning until 5:30, I was in front of this room right here with these people, just giving them everything I got, right? Giving them absolutely everything I've got. And at the end of the day, once we got done with the workshop, then we headed out for dinner, and we went and had dinner at, which now that I think about it, I don't think Charlie was at dinner either, or John. There was a couple people that weren't at dinner. No, John was there. So anyways, after we went to dinner last night, we got home, I got home a little bit late, wasn't able to go right to bed. And so I stayed up a little bit longer than I normally do. So I didn't go to bed until 12. And so I shifted my alarm to make sure I got the right amount of sleep. I shifted my alarm and I got up at 4:10 this morning instead of my normal 3:40. And I tell you all of that to say, because of that, I felt a little rushed with today's episode of the show. I felt a little rushed. So what I'm doing right now, as I'm showing you all the pictures of all the amazing people that we had dinner with last night, what I'm doing now is I am allowing me to slow down. There's John right there. Allowing me to slow down so that I can give you the incredible show that you deserve today. So I came in rushed. I came in hot. I came in fast. We're slowing it down. We have something really important to talk about today. Before we go too far, though, I did wake up at 4:10 this morning, went downstairs, grabbed my big purple cup, ice water, headphones on, grabbed my planner, Morning 5 planner. If you don't have one of these, you should get one. Top right corner, Morning 5 planner. There's a quote submitted by actual members of our community. The quote today says this: "There is strength in choosing optimism, especially when it would be easier not to." When I read this quote, I thought, very, very, very true. There is definitely strength in choosing optimism. Not everybody's able to always be optimistic, so there's definitely strength in that, especially when it would be easier not to. But it made me think there is strength not just in choosing optimism, right? There is strength in choosing to work out when it would be easier not to. What's up, Frank? There is strength in choosing to wake up at 4:10 a.m. to make sure that you can show up and deliver a positive message to the world. There is strength in that, even when it's easier not to. There is strength in having conversations with people that don't agree or align with you, even when it's easier not to. There is strength in stepping into the uncomfortable spaces of your life, the uncomfortable rooms, being around the people that or the situations that make you uncomfortable. There is strength, man. Anytime you can lean in and do the things that are easier not to do, it's just, there is strength in that. And I think it's important that we hit on that just a little bit this morning, because we're living in a world right now where everything is about ease, everything is about comfort, everything is about making things simpler, easier, doing the thing that's easier to do, not the thing that's harder to do. And so I read that quote this morning and I was like, bro, I personally need and want strength in my life. And if you do too, unfortunately, no matter how much you DoorDash or how quickly you Uber or how much time you spend scrolling or how instant you cook your food in the microwave, no matter what, dude, the principle will never change. There's strength in choosing to do the things that would be easier not to do. So quit seeking ease, quit seeking comfort, and chase strength. That's what I'm going to do. Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? I accidentally hit this camera going and grabbing a hat. How are you, my friend? Look, this still got the tag on it. Not no more. Hey, today is Wednesday. That's right, today is Wednesday, a.k.a. CMA Day. That's right, Carter Myers Automotive Group, most amazing automotive group on planet Earth. They own Wednesdays around here. CMA Day. Today is also July, what day it is? Today's July 15th, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day, coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, where we are in the middle of a 2-day workshop that is absolutely powerful here in my studios. We've got over 60, that's right, over 60 of our friends and family here from the auto industry that we are pouring into 2-day workshop, 9 to 5, both days. It's been insane. I think I was trying to say that and I got distracted. I put in over 8 miles pacing back and forth right in front of this studio. You can see in this picture right here where Michael Cirillo was talking, that little path right there, I put in 8 miles going back and forth yesterday. That's right, 8 stinking miles. We put in the work, and we're going to do it again today, which I'm super excited about. We're also in a series this week. We're in a series on this show called Discipline is Destiny. Now, see, every month in this community, we have a new book that we recommend that everybody read and we can share and we can extract our perspectives. And this month's book is Discipline is Destiny, The Power of Self-Control by Ryan Holiday. It's an incredible book. If you've never had an opportunity to read it, you should check it out. It's been really cool. Basically, every chapter, it can be read and learned from itself. Like it's just like beginning, middle, end in every single chapter, which is super cool. It's a feeling of progression, a feeling of you're picking up something every time you read the book. So in that book, it tells stories of ridiculously disciplined people and the destiny that gets attached to when you're able to pull back and see it all. And one of the stories that's really impactful in there starts with this quote, which I just noticed I spelled that wrong. So let me go ahead and fix that before people always like to tell me when something is spelled wrong. So just going to save you the time, effort, and energy. So there's a quote. That's right. That's right, Liza. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's where the growth is. That's right. Here's a quote that's in the book. It says, the world often celebrates charisma, but history remembers consistency. I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine you, Julio Soto, you, Bella Rigby, you, Young and Johnson, you, Scott Simons. I want you to remember, or I want you to imagine for just a second, imagine that every word you speak was being analyzed by the masses, like literally every word. Imagine every single expression on your face was photographed. Imagine every mistake that you ever made in your entire life. Imagine every mistake became a headline on newspapers and websites all around the world. I want you to imagine, Robert Pollard, you. Imagine, Migliaccio, you. Imagine, Will Ramsey, like for real. I want you to imagine, put yourself in this space right now. Imagine that every decision you made, literally every decision you made, was debated by millions of people that you've never met. And now, imagine living that way, not for a week, not for just 24 hours, but imagine living that way for 70 years. 70 years. That, my friend, that was the life of Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II became the queen in 1952 when she was only 25 years old. And here's the thing, Queen Elizabeth II, she did not campaign for the role of being the queen. She didn't ask for the role of being the queen. She inherited the role of being the queen. And from that day forward, from the day she inherited the crown at 25 years old, from that day forward, there was one single word that defined her entire life. Her entire life, where every word out of her mouth was scrutinized. Every expression on her face was photographed. Every decision made was debated by millions. There was only one word that defined her, like her entire life, and that word was duty. D-U-T-Y. And I want you to think about that word for just a second, because that's not a glamorous word in any way, shape, or form. That is not a glamorous word. I guarantee you the word duty, this is your duty, is not trending right now. I guarantee you. It's not flashy. It's not trending. No, it's not glamorous. It's not charismatic. Nobody's like, yes, I just simply cannot wait to watch those people that are serving and doing their duty, right? Nobody's saying that. But yet, like, day after day, year after year, just doing what you've committed to do. That's what Queen Elizabeth did for over 7 decades. For over 7 decades, she met with prime ministers, she met with presidents, she met with world leaders, she delivered speeches, she read government papers every single day, she attended countless public engagements, she kept going through celebrations, through criticism, through political storms, through family struggles, through personal grief, not because life was easy, but because she believed her role required steadiness. And there's a quote that is often associated with her life where she said, "I have to be seen to be believed." I have to be seen to be believed. Now listen, that idea by itself captures something really, really important. You see, people were looking to the monarchy for stability, right? People, they want to see stability within leaders so that they can feel stability in their own lives. So because of that, that meant she couldn't lead based on how she felt that morning. She had to lead based on whatever the moment required, no matter what. So let me ask you this. How many people are depending on you to be steady and steadfast? Like maybe you're a business owner. Maybe your team is watching you. They need to feel steady, steadfast. Maybe it's a team. Maybe you're a parent. Dude, your kids will read your face before they hear your words. Do you understand that? I had to learn this. Me personally, I'll be honest. My relationship with my daughter Willow got a little strained, and I could physically feel my physical state shift when she would come at me, when she would come into a room, when we were getting ready to head down a road that I know was a tough road. Like I could feel my physical reaction, and I know she could see it, bro. Dude, your kids read your face before they hear your words. Maybe you're a husband, maybe you're a wife, maybe you're in a committed relationship. Maybe you're the one that everyone calls when their life falls apart. Like, here's the truth. The reality is, as communal people, we tend to borrow confidence from leaders who remain calm. And so in this book, Discipline is Destiny, it talks about Queen Elizabeth in a way I personally had never experienced her. And it's fascinating the more you dig in. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go a little bit deeper. Before we do, though, you know what we got to do. We got to do some dancing on this show. We got to get our bodies in motion. We got to get the energy up in here. Let's go. For those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this show live or you're watching this show on replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. Trisha Rue, good morning to you. Your mother always called you her test. Indeed, I get it. Mike Larkin, good morning. Great to see you. Young and Johnson, thanks for being here. Debbie Daliwaba, good morning to you. Great thank you for being here. Bill Harrison is in the building. Mark Robinette is in the building. What's up, Robinette? Great to see you, sir. Robin Wilshans is in the building. Thanks for being here. Scott Simons, I appreciate you being in the building. Mr. Mike Larkin is up in here. Jeremy Nolling, what's up, Jeremy Nolling? Thank you for being here this morning. I greatly appreciate it. Wes Storm is in the building. Liza Myers Borges is in the building. Oh my goodness. Robert Pollard is in the building. I'm trying to find all the folks. Will Ramsey is in the building this morning. Thanks for being here. Frank Knox, thanks for being here. Kurt McFarland, thanks for being here. Bill Harrison, I think I already said your name. I'll say it again. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys being in the building. Linnell Burns is in the building. Let's go. All right. Queen Elizabeth, you never thought you'd be learning all kinds of examples from her, but my goodness, she has a ton of them. A ton. And so let's keep going.
A long life can pass by many milestones. My own is no exception.
It has always been easier to hate and destroy. To build and to cherish is much more difficult.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
It's understandable that we sometimes think the world's problems are so big that we can do little to help. On our own, we cannot end wars or wipe out injustice, but the cumulative impact of thousands of small acts of goodness can be bigger than we imagine. It's worth remembering that it is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change.
When people in 53 years from now look back on us, they will doubtless view many of our practices as old-fashioned. But it is my hope that when judged by future generations, our sincerity, our willingness to take a lead, and our determination to do the right thing will stand the test of time.
We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.
70 years. Every word scrutinized. 70 years. Dude, society, especially in today's day and age, we are being taught that leadership is influence, and that is true. That is true. But influence without discipline is unstable. And if your emotions drive every decision, the people following you will never know which version of you they're going to get. I try talking about this as frequently as possible. Like, I can't stress the level of importance of predictability, right? It sounds boring to be predictable, but as a leader, like, you have to be predictable, man. People have to know. Like this show, people know that for the most part, pretty close to 5:30, within a minute or two of 5:30, like, I'm going to be here. And it's predictable, and it's, there's nothing flashy about getting up at 3:40 a.m. and going through the morning routine. There's nothing flashy about it. But it's so crucially important that you guys, those that you specifically, can rely on that component of me as your friend, as a part of your life, as a leader. So listen, the people following you, if they don't know which version of you you're going to get, whether that's your kids, your coworkers, your family members, Like if one day you're inspired and then the next day you're discouraged and then one day you're really patient and then the next day you're explosive and then one day you're like all in and then the next day you're like completely checked out. Like, dude, that's exhausting for everybody around you. It is utterly exhausting for everyone around you, your emotional roller coasters. But the greatest leaders, the ones that history talk about timelessly for eons, dude, they aren't always like the loudest, most charismatic person in the room. They're always the steadiest. Always. They're the ones who create environments where people feel safe. Not because they have all the answers, but because they refuse to let panic become like contagious, dude. That, my friends, is discipline. Something I've learned over the years is that when things are going well, almost anyone can lead. Easy peasy. We see it all the time in the car business. Somebody goes into a store that's already doing great, and they're like, they can run that store, right? Anyone can lead when sales are up. It's easy peasy. When the marriage is strong, it's easy peasy. Marriage is, when marriage feels strong, it's an easy thing. You're like, I love being married. When your health is great, easy. You're like, yeah, health is great, man. Feel good. Easy peasy. Like, I can do all the things, right? But when the pressure comes, dude, that's when your real discipline shows up. Because discipline basically says, I'm not going to let today's emotion destroy tomorrow's mission. I'm going to say that one more time. Discipline is saying, I will not let today's emotion destroy tomorrow's mission. That's discipline, my friend. I think about, and I talk about, and I read about Jesus all the time. And I think about Jesus being asleep on that boat during the storm. You guys know that story? There's a bunch of him, Jesus and the disciples are on a boat. There's storms going on all around. There's wind and there's rain. And Jesus is just asleep on the back of the boat. Everybody else is freaking out. They're panicked. Oh my gosh, we're all going to die. The disciples are like overwhelmed. Waves are crashing everywhere. Fear is spreading like wildfire. In the middle of the chaos, Jesus is calm. There's just calm. And it's not because the storm wasn't real. The storm was real. It's because his confidence wasn't determined by the storm. You see, like leadership, disciplined leadership isn't pretending storms don't exist. Leadership is refusing to let fear become the loudest voice on the boat. So I want you to think about you. I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about the conversations you're going to have, the people you're going to run into. Like before you answer an email, I want you to pause today. Before you react to a comment somebody makes on your social media post or in your environment, I want you to pause today. Before you raise your voice, I want you to pause today. Before you quit on that dream or that commitment that you made, I want you to pause today. Because see, discipline often lives in that little tiny space between what happens and how you respond to it. That's where it's at. That's where character is built. That's where trust is earned. Right there in that little space between what happened and how you respond to it. Your destiny quietly changes direction if you can just pause. Just pause. Tomorrow, I'm going to bring this whole week together. Earlier in the week, we studied George Washington, a man who refused the crown and refuse to quit. Today, we're talking about Queen Elizabeth, a woman who refused to let circumstances dictate her commitment. And so tomorrow, we'll ask like the biggest question of all. We'll just pull it all together. Where does that kind of discipline actually come from? Because if discipline is destiny, and I believe it is, we have to understand the source. But until then, you have to remember this. Your greatest leadership tool is not your title. It is not your talent. It's not even your vision or your ability to cast it. It is your ability to remain faithful when everyone else becomes fearful. That's the greatest tool you've got in your toolbox. And I want you to use it today. Does that sound fair? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go hit the gym. I'm going to go get my workout on. Got a lot of work to do today. Got 60 people counting on me to live in person put another 8 miles on that carpet out there. Got to bring the energy. Got to be the most energetic person in the room. They're here for impact and transformation, and they're expecting to get it from me. And you better freaking believe I'm going to give it to them. So I'm going to go do the things I know I need to do to set me up to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be. And I want you to do the same. Because listen, my friend, you and I are children of God, the God of the universe. And that God made you and I to be the best versions of ourselves we can possibly be. Allie Owens, not an average version of ourselves, not a little bit above average versions of ourselves, not a little bit below average. No. The absolute best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. That's going to require you and I to tap into all 8 pillars of this amazing thing called life. And I'm going to make sure I do that so I can deliver. I challenge you to do the same. Have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.
Every single movement is a move to the core. Level up the cipher, see the wall getting tall. One precise action, never watching it fall. Hard-headed, cemented, yeah, the path is clear. Discipline is currency, the vision is near. When the pressure hits high, keep the focus online. One block at a time, yeah, the glory is mine. It's the consistency that kills them. Just keep stacking. Peace.